Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the principal's office. I am coming to you today with a short celebration of something that I witnessed myself when I was shopping. I'm located in one of those cities where the hurricane was coming through, and so people had to be prepared. School was out, and I was shopping like anyone else, trying to pick up a couple of things. But I noticed this mom, and she had her child walk through the grocery store, and she was reading off the list of things that we needed to purchase, how much they were, and what size should they purchase, and how much of it should they purchase. And it brought me back to when I was a classroom teacher. Me and my partner, we had done a lot of those activities with little workshops with our parents. But it was great to see that this particular parent was in the store and she was utilizing some of those basic skills that we need, right? But I don't know if she knew, but she was also incorporating those things that we use in the classroom, right? She had her daughter actually look for prices, comparing what size to the sales item versus the regular item that wasn't on sale. So how much did it cost? What was the sizes? All of those great skills that includes reading, math, comprehension, and understanding everyday life skills that are actually taught in the classroom in isolation with standards, but now threaded into this grocery store list. And I'll tell you also, as a mother that has been in the store with my kids before, when they were younger, give them something to do. Because when I was in the grocery store, I did see some other kids who did not have anything constructive to do, and they were just doing the most. They were doing everything but letting their parents shop peacefully. And this particular family, this little girl was able to communicate with her mom. Her mom kept her busy, but it also kept a sense of this is why we go to the grocery store rather than some of the other things that I witnessed that were not as conducive as this mom was with her student. And her scholar rather. So I would say if you have never tried that, try it. Make a short list, 3 or 4 or 5 items, put down how much you want to spend for it. It's a really good lesson to bring over what it is that we learned in the classroom into the grocery store, making it real life and it's everyday skill that you're going to need. I would go as far as even giving a budget and say, Sean, we're going to go in there with $50, but we need these 6 items. Which one should we buy? Should we buy the store brand or should we buy the name brand? Well, it makes a difference. My youngest would tell you he's going to prefer the Fruit Loops over, I don't know what, something loops that's not the same, right? Because in his mind, he's like, nope, I don't want the grocery store Fruit Loops. I want the real Fruit Loops. And so, but how much does it cost? And if you're on a budget, you may have to get the grocery store brand. It's all just about all the same. So those are the conversations that you would want to have with your kid that turns, like I said, from the standards to classroom, right, into real life. And those are the parts that you want to bring into. Another thing that I was able to witness in my week or two was, and experienced it myself, word search. So I know this sounds crazy, but you remember these old school, for some of us that are a little bit older, the old school word search. Yes, it's large print. And sometimes I wear my glasses and sometimes I don't. But it's really cool that if you went into the dollar store, you can find these, right? And it has different topics. This particular one is all types of topics and all types of puzzles that you can use. Home improvement. Can I buy you? Ooh, you don't want to do that. Can I buy you a car? All about icing. So there's different topics that you can use, right? And but the cool thing with that is you're teaching your student how to spell and look for things. So, like this one that I did, I was actually in the airport. And this one specifically is delicious cheeses. So it just has words that are related to or deal with cheese. I'm not telling you you have to buy this, right? I'm not a salesperson. What I'm saying to you is go to the dollar store, you find a puzzle book. Puzzle books are great to do with your kid and stimulate conversations. And then it also works on multiple things, right? So spelling, old school spelling. If you were raised in the 70s like I was, you remember when you every Monday you would get a list of spelling words from your teacher, and then on Friday we had a spelling test. You remember that. So in the same concept, you would be using this. This is a good way for classroom teachers. If you don't know anything about this, I know they have generated ones because when I was in the classroom, I didn't buy these, but I also generated crosswords with words that I would be using for the next 2 weeks or next week, and it depends on my curriculum. And I would cross it. I would have math, I would have science words, I would have ELA words, language arts, so social studies words, all mixed into this word search. So I would do it that way, save time, put all the words in there that we were going to learn for the week, and then put it in a fun activity. For parents, maybe your school doesn't do that. That's great. That's fine. You can just do this yourself and make it into a fun activity, make it into a competition. You can sit down with each other and just do one page. My husband and I actually do that with each other. He's a lot faster than me when it comes to looking for some of these words. This one was wonderful music, and we just had a really good time just trying to find the word, the words in the word search. But those are great things that you can do that builds conversation. And like I said, it also works on spelling. Then you can flip it into, can you make a sentence, right? So a word here is tone. And so we know that there's tones in music. So what kind of sentences can we make from that word? If we looked at the word slip from the crochet side of this puzzle, how can you use that word in a sentence? What would it look like? What would it sound like? And those are the things that you can then further the conversation. How do you spell it? So these are things that you can do quick, easy, fun, right? Have fun with it. Make it into a competition. How many words can you find? How many words can you spell? But it's just something that you can do. And I believe, if I'm right, for my mathers out there should be some type of word math book. I remember right. But you can definitely, like I said, classroom teachers, you could actually make your own. And parents, you could actually make your own as well. But if you don't have time to make your own, you don't know where to start making your own, I'll tell you, these books are at the dollar store. And if they're not at the dollar store, believe it or not, you can research, Google, Amazon, anything, and I'm pretty sure you can find these books and you can have them delivered to your house. That is my take for you today. Those two wonderful tips of just how to incorporate some of the everyday life, the things that you do with your student as you're going through the grocery store, and or like I said, if you wanted to have some fun games here, you definitely can incorporate some ELA language, reading, math, all through word search. It's a pretty cool item to get. And I think that is something that you probably would enjoy and include into something that you do with your family. And trust me, it will benefit both you and your child, and teachers, principals out there. These are actual tips too, that when you're at conference night and parents are saying, hey, what can I do? These are little things that you can package as this is what you can do to support me. And then you can go from there. I think that it's doable with parents when you make it make sense. Shopping, they know that they have to do it. Budgets, most of us are on the budget. That just makes sense. And it's not one additional thing, it's something that's going to enhance. When we're looking at how do I spend time, how do I help my child is struggling reader, my child is struggling with spelling, my child is struggling with writing, right? Because they don't have a lot of words in their word bank. These are things that can assist with that, and they're quick and they're easy, and parents can jump on it in between their busy schedules, but it also supports you in the classroom as well. All right, so on our next sprint, I know that we should be going into conference night depending on where you are. So my next video will just talk about a little bit more about conference night. What does that look like? What does it sound like on both ends, from the parent side to the student side to the teacher side? And as administrators, what do we do on conference night? I know that they think that we don't do anything, but we do have a lot to do on conference night. So what does that look like for everyone? That will be the next video. Bye, guys. Don't forget, subscribe and share.